Hi everyone, welcome to our Canva series. Today we're going to be learning how to use Canva Whiteboard, and to take it all away, we have our friend Monica Martinez from Canva itself teaching us these amazing tools. Monica, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. Hey everyone, sorry to be off camera today. My Wi-Fi has been lagging, so I didn't want to affect the audio, so I turned my camera off. But I'm here, happy to be here. We've got 2 sessions left. This is our whiteboard session, and then next time we're going to be doing presentations in the recording feature. So almost wrapping up. It's been great. Let's go ahead and start with our introduction. So for those of you who just trickled in, please introduce yourselves in the chat. If you're a classroom teacher, include your grade level and content area. If you're not a classroom teacher, your role, just go ahead and type that in for us in the chat so we know who's here with us today. I know we're going to get some more of your colleagues that'll trickle in here in a little bit. But meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with my introduction. So once again, welcome everyone to our session on whiteboard. So this is a deep dive session that we're doing that covers a little bit of things that you can do with Canva Whiteboard. Before we jump in really quick, for those of you who I haven't met yet, my name is Monica Isabel Martinez. And let me pause that there. My name is Monica Isabel Martinez. I am a Canva learning consultant. I am your go-to PD person. I support Canva on the professional development side, and PSJA is one of my schools that I work with across the state of Texas. I work with a lot of schools, but you guys are dear to my heart. I'm originally from the Valley, so I'm grateful to be here with y'all today. All right. Really quick on the in the chat, please go ahead and let me know how familiar are you with using Canva Whiteboard. I just want to get a feel for where you are. If you can go ahead and drop in a 1 through a 5, 1 being newish, all the way to 5 being an expert. 1 through 5 in the chat, please. Just go ahead and drop in your level of experience. Now, Whiteboard tends to be one of those tools that is not as commonly used by folks, especially if they're newer to Canva. Most people start with like posters and graphics and things like that, and then move on to like presentations and so forth. But there's so many cool things you can do inside of a whiteboard. And we're going to be actually jumping into one together today. So after today, you'll definitely be able to say you're at least a 2, 3, 4, or maybe even a 5. All right, I'm going to pause really quick just to see once again if you can drop in a 1 through 5 in the chat, please. Just trying to get a feel for your level of experience. All right, I'm going to give you about a minute there to respond and do your intros. All right, excellent. So we've got some power users in the group and beginners as well. You're all in the right place. There's a little bit of everything for everyone today, especially considering all the new stuff that's been rolling out the last year. All right. Okay, that gives me a good idea. Thank you all for responding and letting me know where you are. All right, so as you know, there's an entire visual suite that you have access to. The whiteboard feature or the whiteboard tool is this one right here in green. That's the one we're going to be exploring. But from a presentation, you can also expand into a whiteboard, which is quite nice that you can actually, turn one of those into a whiteboard if you wanted to. There are a lot of different templates that you have within your Canva account, a lot of those being whiteboards. You don't actually have to start from scratch, which is quite nice. There's, of course, a lot of different assets that you can bring into a whiteboard, which you're going to All right, that was a really quick sneak peek. We're now going to take a look at some of the features. So here on the screen, you see that there's possibility to do real-time collaboration, which is what you were seeing in that short video where there were multiple people on the same board. You also have the ability to be able to bring in shapes and graphics and embed different elements like videos, etc. You also have what's called infinite canvas, and I'll show you what that looks like here in just a second. And lastly, you can also set what are called sync timers. So what we're going to do, let me stop. Let me actually share this other tab. We're going to jump into an activity. So I'm going to give you access to this board here in just a second. Before I do, I just want to explain kind of what's going on here and what we're going to be doing. So when you first land on here, it might show up really small. So down here at the very bottom, you'll notice there's a lever to be able to zoom in. Please zoom in to be able to see better, as opposed to trying to select and make things large. So what you don't want to do is land like this and then try to grab something and make it gigantic like this, because that's going to cover everything else. So what you want to do is get the lever at the bottom, zoom in so that you can see it better. That's going to allow you to be able to read everything and be able to see the stickies, etc. Okay. All right, so once you get access, here's our assignment. The prompt is, how will you practice each kind of kindness? We're going to grab yellow stickies to answer the first prompt, which is, how do we show kindness to ourselves? Once again, it's hard for me to see that sticky, so I'm going to actually zoom in even further so that I can see that sticky a little bit more. And then with my keypad, I'm just going to move it over until I'm able to see it. Once I can see it, I'm simply going to double tap inside the sticky note, and I'm going to say, take naps. That is how I show kindness to myself. So that's one. Now I'm going to zoom back out to answer the second one, which is, how do I show kindness to others? And for that one, we are going to use this lavender color sticky note. And the last one is, how do you show kindness to the world? We're going to use the mint sticky to answer that question. So you've got 3 different stickies: yellow for the first one, lavender for the second, and mint for the third one. Now, when I give you all access to this, which I'm about to do, I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to drop it into the chat. That is going to allow you to come in here and go ahead and participate. There is the link in the chat. Go ahead and jump on in to answer those questions. Let's see, who do we have here?
They muted themselves already.
Okay, perfect. It's like we got someone really excited over there. All right, y'all, I'm going to give you just a few minutes to do this. I'm going to put some music on here. Let's do some upbeat music. Bring the volume up. All right, and go. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, for anyone who just joined, we are in an activity. I'm going to copy the link, paste it again. This is where we are. We are taking the yellow sticky to answer how we show kindness to ourselves, the lavender sticky to show how we're showing kindness to others, and the mint sticky to show how we show kindness to the world. So go ahead and join us there. I'm going to put a little more time on the clock here because I'm still seeing the lavender column fairly blank there. So I'll add a little bit of time. All right, so we are at time. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys finish up maybe some of those lavender ones. I'm still seeing just a couple there. And while y'all are finishing up, I'm going to just share a couple of different things for you. For example, the timer. You saw that I popped that open. Down at the very bottom of a whiteboard, there are two buttons. One that says notes, the other one says timer. When you pop open the timer, it defaults to 5 minutes, but you can actually adjust that to however much time you want. You can also double click to type in, for example, 1 minute and 30 seconds, or maybe just 30 seconds. And you saw that I added some music. There's not a lot in here, but there's a couple of different options for you to be able to pick from. Or you can opt to not play music at all, completely up to you. I really like that this timer continues to play even if I navigate to a different tab and then come back, it still continues to be there. So that's quite nice. The other thing too is that it's a synced timer. So right now, when you all were in the whiteboard, you could also see the timer on your end as opposed to it showing up just on my end. So you don't have to be seeing my screen. On your screen, it also shows up. All right. The next thing I'm going to do here, it's going to seem mean. I know some of you are still working, but hang tight. Don't worry, I'll give you access again. But I'm about to change the share settings from can edit to can view only. So all of a sudden, you can no longer make changes. I know some of you were still working. No worries. Hang on just a quick second. I'm going to show you something really quick. So you know some of the really cool features that are built into this whiteboard tool. And then I'll give you access again. So if you want to come back over to me for a quick second, I'm going to show you. Let's say, for example, you know, if we're using this with a lot of people, we would have a ton of sticky notes. You guys are excellent. You organized everything. But let's say, for example, maybe some of these got moved out of the way and maybe they were in the wrong place, or, you know, there's just stickies piled on top of each other. Nobody has time, especially in the moment, to have to organize them and move them around, etc. And so I'm going to show you a couple of really quick things. One, I'm going to go ahead and click and drag with my mouse from the outside all the way in to select all of the stickies. And it's going to highlight all of them. And up at the top in this top menu, you'll notice there's an option for sorting. If I click on sort, I can sort by topic, by color, by name, and by reaction. This is why I purposely had you use yellow, lavender, and mint, because I was intending to sort by color. This is going to neatly organize them and put them just like this so that I can very, very easily, very quickly be able to organize all of my stickies. Again, you guys were excellent and kept them all nice and neat, mostly because we were a pretty small group. But if it was a lot of people, this would have taken a really long time to do. So I really like that feature. Again, you just highlight your stickies. It pops open this window at the top. You go to sort and you select how you want to sort. The other thing that you can do, we have a lot of feedback here and we don't have time to maybe read through and sift through all of the feedback. So one cool thing you can do is, once again, highlight all of your stickies. And in this smaller pop-up menu, there's a magic write pencil. I'm going to click on that. And that's going to give me all these different options. The one that I really like is this create summary. It will summarize for us what it is that we just talked about here. And again, when you talk about having a lot more stickies, it definitely makes a big difference. But even here with not that many, and let's zoom in, we get a really nice summary. It's right over here. It just dropped it there for us. It's basically telling us this is what this whiteboard is about. It's about self-care activities, mindfulness and communication, and environmental responsibility. And it gave us 3 bullet points for each one, basically giving us some subcategories there of what was talked about within these different stickies. And lastly, for my teachers in the room, I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to highlight, let's say, these first 2 columns, and going back to my magic write pencil, you'll notice that one of your options is to generate a quiz. This allows you to basically check for understanding, because if you did this as an activity with students, maybe looking through or discussing content, and now you want to check to see if they understood what information was shared there, well, you can do a very simple quiz. So this generates automatically. For you as the teacher who has the ability to edit this, you can actually go in and edit the question or the answer choices if you want to make changes to it. Right now, you as a viewer of this quiz, you can answer this quiz. So go ahead and jump right on in. The question is, when a friend is upset, which action best supports their emotional needs? Go ahead and pick a choice there from the 3 and then click on submit. So again, the question is, when a friend is upset, which action best supports their emotional needs? Buy them a sweet treat, send a handwritten note, offer your attention and empathy. Which action best supports their emotional needs? All right, as y'all are answering, I'm going to go ahead and answer as well. I'm going to select the last option here, and then I'm going to click on submit. If you got it correct, it will tell you that you got it correct. It will turn it green. If you got it incorrect, it'll turn it red with a little X in this little circle. So it'll let you know. Now you can't go back in and change it. So just know that. As the educator, the person who sets this board up and has edit rights, I'm able to go in and see all of their responses. So I can actually see how each of you responded so far to this particular quiz. So far, 5 of you have responded. It tells me who, it gives me the timestamp. I can view responses, so I can actually open this up, and I can also link this to a Canvas sheet. So I'm going to click on view responses, and this actually shows me this way who selected what, if you got it right, if you got it wrong, etc. So ding, ding, ding. Way to go, y'all. Everyone here got it right so far. But I have sort of that view option as the owner as well as an editor. So just know that if you do add any kind of quizzes to a whiteboard, anyone who has edit rights would be able to see the full responses as well. So they would have access to be able to view that. All right, a couple of last quick things here. I'm going to go ahead and go back up to share. I'm going to change this back to anyone with the link can edit. This is a really quick feature here that I like to toggle on and off so that I could do what I just finished doing. So for those of you who are classroom teachers, a really great way to get everybody's attention back and control the board and then give them rights again. And now all you have to do as the learner is refresh your page. so that you can start to edit again. A couple of quick things I want to point out. Let's say, for example, we're going back through the board and we're reflecting, we're reading everybody's responses. I can come over here to Samantha's and be like, oh yeah, I'm all for the sweet treats. And I can add a reaction. So I can add maybe like a little heart. For meditation, I'm going to come in here, go to reactions and add, clapping hands. So you can add reactions to these. Read a good book. Let's go to the little happy face there and add a thumbs up. Travel. Oh my gosh. Yes. Sign me up. Tell me when. I'm game. So you can come through here and basically just click on a comment or click on any one of the sticky notes, and then right above it, you'll notice in this bubble, you can click on add reaction to add your reactions. You also have a comment icon that allows you to leave a comment. Love this. Or whatever comment you want to leave. Oops, if I spelled that right. Let me edit that. There we go. All right, so you can add comments, you can add stickies, and you can also go to elements and be able to bring in all kinds of other things like shapes and graphics and stickers and all kinds of stuff. So elements always has all the goodies, all the different assets that you can bring in. And just like any other design, you can bring in all kinds of content into a whiteboard. All right, I'm going to pause here for just a quick second to see if there are any questions so far on what we've done. So far, you've been on my whiteboard. The next section here quickly is for me to show you where do you go to create your own. That's going to be the last thing we're going to look at. But before I show you that, any questions on what we just finished doing here? And I'm going to zoom out. You can see what I meant earlier by infinite canvas. There's tons of space to be able to do a lot of work. Think of this as a digital workbook of sorts, place for brainstorming, collaborating, having discussions, talking through topics, things like that. Lots of stuff that can be done in here. All right, I'm not seeing questions come through. So the last thing I'm going to show you, let me come back over to my home page. So I mentioned we have a lot of really great templates that you can pick from. Over on the left-hand side in this first column from your home page, there is a template icon that you can click on to get over into the template gallery, which is this here. From the template gallery, you can then go and explore different types of tools like the education whiteboard. So this is going to narrow this down by education specific types of whiteboards. There are a lot of others that are non-education specific, but it's nice that this already brings it down to just the education ones that are already pre-built and ready to go. Anything you decide to use from here, you can always go in and customize. So even the one that we did just now, I customized it. I made some changes. I deleted some things that I didn't want, and then I locked some things that I wanted to lock down, etc. But this is a great place to start to see what's out there that's already been created in Whiteboard that is applicable to the classroom. So again, all I did was from your homepage, go to templates here on the left-hand side. Because you're logged into your education account, we're clicking on education whiteboards, and that's going to take you to all of those templates. All right, any questions, y'all, on getting there? I'm going to show you a couple of quick little tips here as well. Let's say we like this one. If I click on it, takes me to this screen here where I can say customize this template. You'll notice that it also shows me more like this. So some that are similar to that one that show up down here at the bottom. Now it's showing us things that are not necessarily all education specific, but other things that you could still use and modify for the classroom. All right, let's go ahead and pick this one and then say customize this template. And now that this template is yours, once you click on customize, then you're able to come in here just like with any design and be able to say, oh, I don't want this, and I simply delete it. I don't want this and delete that. Or, hey, let me select this and move it because I prefer to have it over here, etc. So that is just like anything else in Canva. When you're designing anything, it works exactly the same way. It just happens to be a digital whiteboard, which is useful for a lot of things that maybe a presentation might not work for, or a document wouldn't work for, or video, etc. So you have another tool in your tool belt, in your toolkit of resources to be able to use. All right, I am going to stop sharing. We've got about 3 minutes left. These 30-minute sessions go by so fast. I'm going to come back to y'all here. Just checking in. What did y'all think of whiteboards? How did it go? What did you like about it? What worked well? What didn't? Just looking for some feedback.